G'day everyone, Prep Aussie here. I hope you're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is Saturday, the 13th of October 2018, and the time here is 09:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. Alright folks, this is weekly news wrap up number 5. I'm quite enjoying these. As you know, plenty going on. The world is literally falling apart around our ear rolls. Trying to do this so that I give information to you guys is becoming increasingly difficult, as I'll explain to you. All right, let's do the sponsorship. Totally Rawsome golden activated turmeric, or turmeric, however you want to say it. Turmeric does actually work, guys. It's fantastic stuff. I'm not kidding you. Get some if you haven't already got some. Just for you guys in Brizzy or the Gold Coast, this is where they are this weekend, or every weekend. Palm Beach Currumbin markets, farmers markets on Saturday, 6 till 12 it is. And Bundle Farmers Market, Arts Centre, same time, 6 till 12 every Sunday. And also Jam Powers Farmers Market, Queen Street, Brisbane, every Wednesday, 8 till 6. Go down there, see the guys, get some turmeric paste, get some chai turmeric paste, which is even nicer. Yum. And tell them Prep sent you down there. Okay. As I said, loads going on. I just want to talk to you personally at the moment about prepping. And, you know, I've got loads of people writing comments. Look, there's so many comments now. It's become just, I get swamped with the comments. At one stage, I used to, comment or put a heart tag or whatever. It's even too hard for me to do that now because I'm trying to keep up with everything. So don't be offended if I don't, comment to a comment that you're sending in. I have read a lot of people have commented about trying to get together to meet because we've got people in Brisbane, Gold Coast, Tweed, New South Wales. So here's a suggestion. I'm going to try and hold a meeting on a Saturday afternoon at about 5 o'clock till 8 o'clock. I'll actually be having this where I want to have it. There's a couple of RSLs around here, community halls, etc. Now, before I stick my neck out to do this, I would appreciate people sending me an email, personal email, to prepaussie@protonmail.com. I'll put the link in the description box if you want to come along. I'm going to hold this in 2 weeks' time. I'm not listening to people about, I can't because my cat's sick or what. Don't even mention it to me. I'm going to hold it in 2 weeks' time. If you're from Brizzy, Tony Smith, constantly trying to contact people in Brizzy. Look, I'll try and hold it just north of me a little bit, maybe at Nerang, somewhere like that. If somebody can give me some help organising this, that would be great. But I'm literally just going to be there, and it's going to be a meet and greet, and just a thing for people to get to know each other. To break that mold. I said to you guys, I watched this real big series on the Great Depression. Interesting to note that at the beginning of the Great Depression, it was all me. But then as it slowly started to progress, people realised that this isn't about me anymore, and just being me is not going to make it. So all these little places called Hoovervilles started opening up everywhere. And people would just get together, form a community, and realise that the only way they'd get out of this was to actually form communities to survive. Hunting, gathering. The women did all the correct stuff around, kept the place clean and tidy, and the men went out, got whatever work they could, and everyone put in towards a group or a community, including food, etc. Because don't forget, a lot of kids were dying at the time, literally just dying on the street, starving to death. not just kids, but families. That's how horrific this was. 3 million people. I'm going to try and get you to imagine this. 3 million people in 1930 died from starvation in America. Oh, sorry, it wasn't just 1930. It was over the course of the Depression. 3 million. So pick a city that's got 3 million people and take that off the map and you'll understand how many people died. And there was nothing anybody could do about it. Absolutely nothing. As I said to you, farmers ran out of money on their farms. They went to the city to get work because they thought they'd get work in the city. They got to the city, there was no work. They couldn't get back home. Their farms were barren and their families literally starved to death on the farms. Think about that. So this is, I'm only going to do this once before Christmas. So if you guys want to meet up, get your bums off your ass or get off your asses and let's get it going. I'm not going to do this again this year. This is the one and only chance for you all to get together to meet and have, throw about ideas, etc. Now, as regards to, the reason I'm saying this is because this economic implosion is happening while you're sitting here right now. So what I want to say to you personally is forget about food, etc., blah, blah, blah. Think about yourself. If you're the leader of your family, whether you're a man or a woman, if you're a woman, you are the leader, let's be honest. But if you're a man, what's your physical state? And a woman, what's your physical state? Are you overweight? Are you 54 like me? Are your joints bad? All this sort of stuff. I'm trying to get you to, what I'm trying to do here is get you to focus on yourself. Because if you can't focus on yourself, then you're not going to make this journey. It's as simple as that. Get yourself to a doctor. Get you all your blood tests done. If you haven't had your prostate checked, get it checked. It takes 5 seconds. I know it's uncomfortable. But for any of the blokes out there who say that, try being a woman who has to have pap smears all the time. That's about the most invasive thing I reckon any human being could go through. So for a bloke who hasn't had a prostate check, and don't go on the blood test results either. Unfortunately, blokes, you've got to get the digit. Simple as that. And if you think that's bad, just think about the women who have to go through this twice a year or whatever they go through. It's pretty demoralising, I would reckon. And that's why women last longer than men. When was the last time you had your teeth checked? When was the last time you got your eyes tested? Do you have enough glasses? What's the point in running out of the building and you can't read the signs in front of you? All these little things. Your ears. Eyes, ears, nose, mouth, feet. A lot of people forget feet. This is going to be, I'm going to shock you guys here. A lot of people can't walk a K because of their feet. Think about that. And your hands. A lot of people can't even pick up a brick because all we do these days is type on a computer. And I've said before, buy some hand grips for men and women. If you haven't got any, go and get some. And if you haven't used any, you're going to be shocked how bad your hands are. And go outside, if you don't believe me, if you're early 40s, late, and going into your 50s, I want you to do a trick, or do a test on your hand strength. I want you to go outside and I want you to try and pick something heavy up with your grip, like that. If your first reaction is to go and pick it up as a scoop, like a shovel, then what that's telling you is that your mind knows that your hand has no grip and you will have to shovel it up, i.e., pick it up like that. You can't pick it up like that. I've now gone from doing that, because I realised I had a problem as a carpenter. I went to pick things up and I was always aching hands, etc. And I was scooping things. I wasn't picking things up anymore, and I couldn't understand it. And then I realised my grip strength had gone. It's all these little things, folks. All these little things, Prepping isn't just about buying food, petrol, cars, etc. Because if you don't work, then none of that works. That's how this all works, by the way. So step back, take the time, look at yourself. And as I said, I want to hear from people about this meeting. I would expect 30, because I get 30 plus of you saying to me, I want to meet people. I live in Southeast Queensland. I live in Northern New South Wales, blah, blah, blah. Well, get off your ass and let's make this happen. Okay? Right, let's look at some news. This week in the ABC. And I'm going to go to this one here. Stock market quake in fear as the volcano rumbles ominously. It's a good article, and I'll leave the link in the description box. It's interesting to note that after all this time of everyone saying that things are going really, really well, to them all lying about how well the stock market was doing, they're all now saying, well, hang on a minute, there's a big problem here. Why aren't you all paying attention? I'm being serious. Article after article now is saying the same thing. Oh, this is not going to end well. And I can point to 20 articles there, but I'm just highlighting that one. And they're all saying the same thing. So the narrative from above, the governments, etc., is now being positioned to say to people, well, we did tell you that the bond market was going to erupt, didn't we? Didn't you read that article in the ABC? This article here? The volcano? So they are warning us. They are actually warning us by default now that this is all going to blow up in our faces. I've read an article in the ABC yesterday where they actually said they can't believe that it got to this point. 3 weeks ago, they were saying, way, the stock market's hit an all-time record high in the US and things are great and, sunset's never going to end, etc., etc. 3 weeks ago, I read that. Every article I go on now in the ABC says exactly the opposite. Understanding Moneyland, the lawless offshore world of the super rich. This is the narrative coming out of the ABC now. Look, I'm just going to slowly go down the page here. House price falls continue as new loans dry up. Well, they're drying up because the Banking Commission has told everyone that they were actually in crooked land. Stock market quake, that's the one I just saw you. Suckers rally cut short as global market rout resumes. And yeah, there was a dead cat bounce. There was always going to be, but who knows what's going to happen on Monday. ANZ sacked 200 staff over misconduct. Look, it just goes on and on and on here. Unprofessional banks need tougher policing. APRA admits. Well, they're the people that run it. Yeah, that's funny. Let's go to the politics section. Morrison to change Sex Discrimination Act to protect gay students from expulsion. Well, I don't really, know how. The thing that worries me about all this, and look, I don't give a shit if you're gay, lesbian, or whatever the fuck you are, but what happens when people live in an echo chamber? People must have their own personal opinions. You can't live in a world with an echo chamber. as much as I don't like to say this, if people don't agree with people being gay, that's not against the law. That's their own personal beliefs. It's like religion. I hate organised religion. Any organised religion. Anything touched by man is corrupted. Absolutely. So, just because someone doesn't believe in gay marriage, doesn't make them a bad person. That's just their personal belief. If they start getting up on soapboxes and screaming down the road at people like me saying, you're all sinners and you're all... Well, yeah, piss off. People have a right, and everyone needs to understand this, people have a right to express their own views. And sadly, it's why society has broken down so much. Because one side of society is saying, you can't say that and you can't do that, or you can't think like that. Well, yeah, I fucking can, and stop telling me how I want to think. I don't agree with gay marriage, and that's more to do with financial more than anything else, because all the donkey heads out there that voted for gay marriage, yeah, okay, people want to get married, good on them, but what they don't understand is that about a year before the gay marriage thing, the whole process, the government changed the pension laws so that everyone who is open to who has gay marriages automatically qualifies for pensions from the pension funds, CBUS, etc. And that those funds do not exist. The government already knows this. Oh, shit. Yeah, the government already knows this. Sorry, power was going out. So, when this all blows up in everybody's faces, the government's just going to turn around and go, well, it's because you guys wanted the gay marriage. We let you have it. We couldn't discriminate against people with the pensions, so we let them have it. Fully knowing that there is no money. That's why I'm pissed off about it. The other thing I'm pissed off about is where has the marriage, what defines a marriage between a man and a woman now? I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. It doesn't make me a bad person. It's just my personal opinion. Can gays get married? Yeah, go for your life. I don't care. The rest of us have to suffer, so why shouldn't you? Anyway, moving on. Guys, I thought this was an interesting article because this made me physically sick, just about. The Papua New Guinea government bought 40 Maseratis for APEC leaders, and then, as polio returns to the country. This is how governments perceive people. We're just cannon fodder. You know what I mean? This is just ridiculous. This is the sort of world we're living in at the moment. Why? Yeah, people have to ask why. And this is what I was saying about people need to understand that you have your own voice. Is it right? They bought 40 Maseratis so a bunch of shitheads can fly in and sit their fat asses in plush environment while they're driving through slums in Port Moresby. Do you know what they should do? They should give them a bag of coins as well so they can throw coins out of the window as they're driving through the slums. That's what they should do. If they're going to go the whole hog, why not just really do it and just state what you mean? That's disgusting. Port Moresby is one of the poorest places in the world. And they're trying to justify it. Okay, let's finish off with the trading economics news. And there's been some absolute classics. Now, I mentioned Bond NATO coming to a local shop front near you. That is still going to happen. For some reason, this is not letting me. Folks, as much as any of us would like to believe, things just aren't going to get better. I've had a lot of people write to me and say, if Trump takes, this executive order and he strips Google of all their money. Well, I've said this before. If you put all the major companies in the world together and all the billionaires, if you put all the billionaires together in the world, their money wouldn't even add up to $1 trillion. 1 trillion. There's 50 trillion that's got to be found. As this rolls on and on and on, it's my belief that Donald Trump is just going to go, you're going to wake up on a Friday and they're going to say, the US dollar as you know it, the greenback or whatever, is now defunct. It's got too much debt. This here is going to be the new US currency as of Monday. And he's just going to shut the shop up and close down the Fed. And the more I read into this and the more I watch what he's doing, that's my firm belief. Behind the scenes, these people aren't class A idiots. These people know what they're doing. So behind the scenes, they're all casually milling around, working tooth and nail to get this changed over on a given day. What that day is, I don't know. So, but that's my firm belief that Trump is a debt superstar. He knows how to play the system, and they all would have been there going, well, you can't fix $50 trillion. How much can we get back? Okay, we can get back 3. Okay, we get back 3 trillion, 47 trillion left. What are we going to do? And the answer is nothing. The answer is, bang, we shut this system down. And then on Monday, we have a total new reset with this new gold-backed fiat currency. And the reason they're going to do it on a weekend is so that gold's obviously going to skyrocket. So they're placing themselves in the position to be the lead buyer. So watch this space. All right, folks. Time for prayers. Okay, folks. Verse of the day. Listen, my son, to your father's instruction, and do not forsake your mother's teaching. They are a garland to grace your head and a chain to adorn your neck. Very good. And as always, folks, we'll end with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. All right, folks, have a safe weekend. God bless. Prep out.